Welcome, guys. Good morning. Remember this yesterday, which caused the big panic FUD, the big sell-off, right? And we're still trying to recover, though Bitcoin is slowly recovering, coming right back up. But I just want to let you guys know, yeah, because of this yesterday, we had a big sell-off. And guess what? The CEO of Matrixport now came out and said, no. We have analysts, but they operate independently. So even though the guy that came out said, I don't believe there's any ETFs coming in January, he's labeled as a Matrix or Matrixport Analyst. He gets to write whatever he wants because apparently Matrixport does not care about their analysts. They operate independently and they just express whatever the hell they want without any fact checking or anything. I guess, basically this is some, I don't know, damage control by Zhihuan Wu. And here's the funny thing. Do you guys know who Zhihuan Wu is? This guy's a POS is what he is. He's the one, along with Roger Ver, that caused the contentious fork of Bitcoin back in 2017. And that's why we have Bitcoin Cash, because he was a greedy individual, thought that he needed to make more money. And him and Roger, came up with this plan to fork Bitcoin. Yeah, that led to where we are. And then Bitcoin Cash also, Craig Wright also forked Bitcoin Cash. We got Bitcoin SV. Now we got all these copies of Bitcoin. Just dilutes away from Bitcoin, right? So yeah, so this guy's no good. That's my conclusion. Even though we had that little scare, we had Bitcoin sell off, but like I said, we're recovering upwards and we're in bull market territory. Brian Kelly from CNBC, no, he's not from CNBC, but he goes on CNBC a lot. Okay, Brian Kelly has been one of the bigger crypto bulls since 2017. Some of you guys may remember at the peak of 2017, he went on air and told everyone to buy XRP, and that's when XRP hit almost $4. And for a brief period of time, XRP actually surpassed Bitcoin's market cap during that run. But he calmed down since then. But let me play this for you guys because he pretty much answers, or he squashes this notion of buy the rumor, sell the news when it comes to spot ETFs.
All right. So why shouldn't we believe that the Bitcoin ETF approval isn't a sell the news event? It seems like there's so much riding on this approval. There's so much of the rally predicated on that when it happens, what next?
Yeah, right. I mean, listen, as a trader, my gut always tells me things go higher, I get a little bit scared, right? So I do think a lot of the speculative fever around the ETF is probably reaching a crescendo this week. So, yeah, could we get a sell-off? Sure. But I think that would be a sell-off, a dip to buy. Because remember, there are still a lot of people that have not been able to buy Bitcoin for their portfolio. So even a 1 to 2 to even 5% allocation in IRAs or from private wealth managers, they're going to be buying the ETF over the year. And since you have Tim on the desk, it'll serve as a four-on-the-floor drumbeat for the rest of the year.
So basically, that's it. Like I said, if we have a sell-off, which we did yesterday, and kind of reset things, okay, it's a buying opportunity. But you can't predict how much money will be flowing into the space. That's exactly what Brian said. All these fund managers that before couldn't get exposure to Bitcoin, now they can by buying spot ETFs. They will continue to do so for the remainder of this year and next year. And you can't predict that. You can't price that in yet because we could have billions to trillions flow in. That's why it's so significant. So that is still around the corner. That has not been taken off the table. We still have a January 10th deadline, even if we don't get approval. Well, the next deadline is a few months away in March, right before the halving event. Then you have back-to-back catalysts to drive Bitcoin to a new high. But in the meantime, like I said, we kind of had a reset. The best way to think about it is what happened yesterday was a gift. I've been telling you guys that. Whenever Bitcoin goes down, whenever the crypto market comes down now, especially now, as we're heading higher, it's a gift. And it happens all the time. Every single cycle, when Bitcoin goes up, we see these dips, the corrections, sometimes 20, 30, 40%. That doesn't mean the bull market is over. No. It just means that sometimes it gets overheated, right? But if you take advantage and you continue to hold on DCA during those dips, man, you're going to make out like a bandit. That's the best way to look at it, right? And yesterday, we had a little dip, and now we're coming back up, right? And it's business as usual. So many alts today are pumping double digits. Bitcoin is not back to 45, but we're slowly trending upwards. We're going to get back there, and we're going to continue forward. Grayscale, still trying to convert their Spot ETF, and they're talking to some of the biggest banks out there. Not that we want JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs in the game, but they want a piece, even though Jamie Dimon has been saying such negative things about Bitcoin. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We know he's just playing a game, okay? A long-term game. And that game is to spread as much FUD as he can while accumulating as much as he can. JP Morgan, no doubt, is very vested in Bitcoin and Bitcoin's future. They're going to be buying it. There's no doubt about it. They already offer Bitcoin and crypto services. They have their own freaking chain. I mean, think about that. They have their own token, or coin, I should say. They have their own coin. They have their own chain. They advise their wealthiest clients to go buy Bitcoin. They're a custodian, and soon they're going to be buyers of Spot ETFs. So just think about that. Tuttle Capital just filed for 6 different leverage Bitcoin ETFs. Well, that's exciting. Once we get ETFs, we're going to get leverage ETFs. You'll be able to buy 2x and 3x ETFs that goes both ways, right? You could have inverse, or you could have short or long. So that's probably coming around the corner. But as for Bitcoin itself, yeah, we're looking good. I mean, if you just look at where we are versus previous cycles, we are right at the cusp of greatness, of a parabolic rise. We're just like right there. And these metrics don't move very often because this is measured in years. So what happens day to day, week to week, doesn't even show up. Only things that happen month to month, multi-months, do they show up. So we're not going to get another dot for quite some time. But again, when you're measuring years, as an investor, you should be focused on years. So when you have metrics like this that measure in years, well, yesterday's dip does not even register. It's not even significant. Then that's how we should treat it. That's why yesterday I told you guys, don't be scared. Nothing has changed. Fundamentally, Bitcoin is still strong as ever. And everything that we've talked about is still in play. Just because you have one rogue analyst saying that I don't think ETFs are coming, who gives a F?